an NFT Web3 workflow for tiny creators and tiny communities. Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace, and welcome back to A Tiny Revolution. This is our brand new community and publishing platform for authors, artists, teachers, trainers, coaches, consultants, really anyone who wants to make a big impact with tiny products in 2022 and beyond. All right, so one of the things that we're going to be doing each week is creating these very small, tiny workflows that those of you who are part of our community can utilize to build your brand and business and bank account to boot. So this one has been something that's been of significant interest from the folks in our private community, and that's using NFTs and Web3 to build your membership, or your community or interest in your community, which is really something that many folks are, really interested in mastering, right? I mean, there's a lot. It's very easy to create a community. It's very difficult to create a community that's engaged and that's interested and that will evangelize for your brand and your business. And that's really what we're at bottom about with respect to community building. So here is the 4-step workflow. You have a PDF available to you in your downloads area. And again, I am certainly not an expert at any of this. I am experimenting and learning Web3 and NFTs, and I'm really, really excited at some of the epiphanies and the sort of eureka insight, kind of moments that I've had with respect to how we're going to be trying and applying these principles in our own membership community in 2022. So the most important thing, I'm just going to give you like a little sort of mindset thing that's been really important to me with respect to how I think about all this, is the NFT should be thought of as an access point or an experience, not an artistic endeavor, right? So I'm not so interested in creating, art or JPEGs that folks can pay $1 zillion for. And, that's just because I'm not good at that, and that's not my area of expertise, nor really my interest. What I really think ultimately is the value of these Web3 style NFT kind of tokens is in the ability to offer your members a unique experience, to give them something that inspires or invites an access point or an experience that's a deeper dive sort of immersion into the ecosystem that you're building, right? So here are the steps and the workflow. And again, you can download this via the PDF. Start with something like InLoop or Bitsky. I recommend these in January of 2022, simply because they're the tools that I'm using. They're free and they're very beginner friendly, especially for folks like me who are not, I'm not a coder, right? So, building, there are other tools that I've certainly used and recommend, but for really, really beginners and for folks who don't want to kind of get their hands dirty with code, and I count myself in that group, something like InLoop is really designed specifically for creating membership style experiences for communities without having to do anything other than create the token and the NFT, mint it, and then offer it to your members. All right. Step number 2 is pick a community publishing platform. Again, we're going to be doing some really, really exciting things with Ghost for the folks in our community who are creating content and creating tiny courses and coaching and products and ebooks. As a matter of fact, if you're listening to this right now and you want to actually sell your content on our platform, get in touch with me, because we're going to be opening this up in the next week or so, sometime by the mid point of January, where we're actually building a marketplace for folks in our community who are members of our community and want to sell your content to our audience. All right. So if you're, picking a platform, I recommend something like Ghost, because it makes it very, very easy as a built-in membership system that's free and part of the software, and it becomes very, very easy to incorporate something like a Bitsky or an in-loop token to monetize your community. If you're looking for something that's more forum or Facebook style, something like Circle is great. I've been using Circle for over a year, and they're really a fantastic company and really great software. Lots of successful Circle communities out there. Although it's, again, it's, you really need to get your audience engaged, immersed, and sort of skin in the deal, invested in your community. And that's where these NFTs and Web3 tools and tech actually shine. All right. Step number 3, again, it's not really a step, it's more of a mindset. And if you think about access over art, like a lot of the conversations I'm having with folks who are interested in the NFT Web3 model keep on coming back to art, right? Like these JPEGs or, designing, cool images that they're going to sell. That may be what's in vogue right now, but going forward, I think really what's going to be ultimately the exciting thing for artists and teachers and makers and marketers and creatives of all kinds is the ability to offer access to your community with your token. So, if you're truly looking to engage your members in unique, novel, innovative ways, think about how you can give them ownership in your community or in your, in your art or in your books or your brand or whatever it is that you're selling via an NFT or a Web3 style feature that incentivizes engagement, and it encourages this sort of evangelical energy that they can bring to your project and your platform. All right. So think of all the ways that you can actually use this whole process, the membership and the NFT and the Web3 style offers, to actually get folks not only to join, but actually to invest themselves in building content, creating content, building your brand, building buzz, et cetera, et cetera. That's where all the power of all this truly lies. All right. And lastly, think of all this as a grand science experiment. I've said this before. I'll say it again here. I mean, everything that I'm conceptualizing and that we're intending and planning on doing in 2022, I don't expect to work. Like, I don't think everything is going to work exactly as I choreograph it in my mind. Instead, I'm just running constant science experiments, thinking about how to add value to our members' experience. And that includes someone like yourself listening to this right now. I'm constantly thinking about how to add value to you and how, your investment in your attention and engagement and, whatever it is that you're planning on doing in your brand and business or life as a creative, that I can just continuously think of new and interesting ways to deliver value to you, not necessarily thinking of how you can deliver value to me. And I find that sort of shift, even when you have selfish motivations. Of course, I do as well. I want to run a business. I want the business to be successful. I want people to pay money to fund all of this and to sign up for services and to buy courses. But if I'm always thinking about ways in which I can go over expectations with respect to value delivery and, sort of delighting our members, I often find that is really what pays the greatest dividends with respect to people's reciprocation of, investing the energy and enthusiasm to evangelize for what I'm doing, right? And I think a really good example of this is if you look on Twitter, you'll see a lot of these NFT style membership kind of platforms. So there are not that many of them yet, but they're coming. You'll notice that a lot of, or at least I noticed that a lot of the sort of the buzz building is not coming from the folks who are actually building the platform. It's coming from the members themselves who are evangelizing for the offer and the opportunity and the content and the community, and really, really, they're doing the heavy lifting for the creative that's behind the platform because they feel so invested in the tools and the tech and the art or the, the offers or whatever it is ultimately that's being built in that respective case. So think of all this through that framework, and I think you'll find that this gets very exciting very quickly, and it makes psychological sense. It doesn't feel like, when people have a sense of ownership in something, they're going to be much more engaged and enthusiastic, and they're going to be much more likely to spread the word and share the love, wherever it is that they live, play, or interact in the, social sphere as well. Okie doke. So there's the quick framework. You have the PDF, you can download it. And if you are struggling with any of this, of course, if you're part of our community, simply reach out to me and ask, and I'm happy to think of ways with you, brainstorm, and come up with ways of applying this model in your own brand and business. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Thank you, as always, so much for listening, and have a wonderful day.